same thing happens in on your whole business, because over time, as you kind of figure out, it starts out wide of kind of who you are and what fits into the box, and over time that comes in and really you get hyper-focused, and then so you know that this is the only thing you're looking for. So that really goes down in every element of the business, and that includes staff. And so over the last several months, we've had some turnover, and so anytime there's change in business, anytime that there's anything that's going on, you always want to, we've talked about the 5 whys to try to get from symptomatic reasons to fundamental root causes. And so over the last month or so, been asking more than 5 whys, been really trying to get at what is the overarching reason and the fundamental cause of turnover. And is it a sign of something that is broke and needs to be fixed? Or is it a sign of something that's right and needs to be embraced? And really, I think what it comes down to is it's something right that needs to be embraced. Just in the same way that the trees go through seasons. Every fall the leaves start changing and they fall off, and that allows for the springtime to come and more healthy growth and more strong trees. And the same thing happens with staff. Is over time there's pruning that needs to happen, either self-pruning like leaves falling off, or branches need to be trimmed back. And really that allows for the tree, the company, to stay healthy and to be able to continue to grow. The other way to look at it is if you're in a boat. That's a boat, I promise you. How many of you guys have went skiing before, or tubing, or whatever? So when the boat is going slow, where's the wake?
Wide.
It's kind of wide, right? So when the wake is wide, you've got a skier here, yay, and a skier here, and all is well, because they're inside of the wake, right? So this is kind of when you're trying to figure out who you are and what you're about. The boat's going pretty slow and the wake is pretty wide. So as time progresses and you start figuring out what it is that you're about, then you start going a little faster, and the wake does what? It moves in, right? So when you're outside of the wake, the water's pretty choppy, right? When you're in here, it's pretty smooth. So what ends up happening over time is as the boat continues to go faster and faster, that wake starts going in further and further. And when these people were here, when they still fit into the wake, into the mode of the business at the time, but if they don't continue to refine and grow with the company, so this person kind of grows and in with the direction of the company, this person didn't, and so they're outside of the wake. And what happens when you're outside of the wake? It's rough, and what happens to your legs? They get really tired, right? Because you're just hitting lots of waves and lots of bumps. What happens when you're really tired?
Burn out. Fall easier.
You fall down. You get burnt out. There. They go flying. You get pissed off. You're frustrated, and you just want to get off. You don't want to ride anymore. And so the same thing happens as this continues to unfold. This starts getting more and more into the middle, to the point where it's almost, you have to be in exact alignment. And so now you start getting people, whether they grow in or they get replaced and somebody else that is in alignment comes aboard, then what ends up happening is no matter how fast we go now, you're behind and inside of the wake zone, so you can go faster and you can take on more because you're within the protection, you're in alignment. We've talked about a lot of alignment with what the company is about. So over time, what ends up happening is this comes in, and either this person keeps coming in, or they get left out, and then they get burnt out, and then they go underwater. or they have to be replaced with someone who is in alignment. And that comes with a lot more over time. We figure out exactly who we are, exactly who we're looking for, which allows us the flexibility then to find people who are in perfect alignment. And the same thing, what ends up happening then is, you guys have ever seen bike races. They perfectly draft right behind each other, right? They do that to be aerodynamic, to save energy, to go faster. So what ends up happening is if this person in the back gets out of alignment, and now all these people are kind of tethered together, it really wears on everybody. So if someone's out of alignment, it wears down the whole team and it gets exhausting. And so this is if someone is just not perfectly in alignment. If someone is badly out of alignment, we've not had too many instances of this here, but if someone's a cancer, if someone's a bad teammate, it's almost like they put up a parasail and it just drags everything down. I'm sure you guys have had this happen at other jobs where it's just that one person is just negative, they're not right, and they can ruin an entire culture. And so that's somebody that's way out of alignment and is dragging down the whole team, because what ends up happening is we're all tethered together, so this starts pulling everyone out of alignment, just like your spine gets pulled out of alignment. So what we've always got to be trying to do is keep people focused on what the company is, the goals are, and this is really where it comes back to the mission, vision, values, making sure everyone stays in alignment. And if they're not in alignment, then try to get them there, or they're going to get burnt out and it's going to be time for them to go one way or the other. So this is where I'm pretty confident we're at, is that the turnover we've had has been a good thing. And it's not because the people that have left are bad people. This has nothing to do with them as a person, but it's got to do with the alignment of 12-point bucks, because 12-point bucks take a specific type of hunter. And that's the type of people that we're looking for and making sure that we have on board. One of the things that we've just got to really stay focused on is making sure that everybody we have understands what the purpose of the company is, what the goals of the company are, making sure that that's who they are, not who they're just trying to be. And that's where alignment comes in, and that's where we'll be able to go faster and faster with less energy, because we're going to be in so perfect alignment that we can draft off each other. Questions? Comments? Agree? Disagree?
Agree.
I'm a competitive slalom skier, so I have no problem with this at all. I'll always be in alignment.
But do you guys understand kind of where this comes from and kind of what it's about? I mean, Denny, have you experienced in other workplaces with people getting way out of alignment?
Oh, yes.
So.
You're outside the weight, you can slow the boat down too.
Yeah, it does. It drags everything down and drags everyone down. So.
I think it'd be an awesome job too, but if you have a couple of stragglers, you just end up just hating it, and it just makes a good thing horrible.